So this video is actually inspired by a quote that I saw on Instagram by Buddha. It said, "Believe nothing, no matter where you read it or who said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and common sense." And I sat there and all I could think was, yeah, no. That actually doesn't apply to intuitive guidance at all whatsoever. If I applied that to my intuitive guidance, I wouldn't have followed any of it. Because intuitive guidance is often very illogical and impractical and does not make common sense. So truth doesn't really care about your mind and what it thinks. Truth only cares about truth. The universe only cares about truth. So whatever your truth is, it could be very illogical and very impractical and not make any common sense at all, but it's still guiding you towards your highest good. There were times when, I will decide on a logical path, the path that makes the most sense for me. And then I'll tune into my gut and it'll bother me. So I automatically know intuitively that there's something wrong with that path. Even though it makes perfect logical sense, there's something wrong with that path. That's how much I trust my gut. So I constantly place my gut over my head, over my heart, over everything else, because it's directly connected to God, my angels, my higher self, and they're all knowing angelic beings that have my highest good in mind. And that trumps everything. Yep, I listen to my gut above everything else, even if it doesn't make sense. Even if it doesn't make logical sense and it's impractical or inconvenient, I still listen to my gut. Let's look at my life and the weird things that I was divinely guided to do that didn't make any sense. I temporarily, lowered my credit score to poor and, charged up my credit cards. I was divinely guided to do that, and I later paid them all off, and then my score went back up. That didn't make logical or practical sense at the time. My credit score was always excellent before that, so I hated doing that, but I did it. Everything worked out okay. I was divinely guided to move out of my best friend's house and into a hotel. She loved having me there. I loved being there. It was free. What kind of moron would do that? Divinely guided to do that. I was divinely guided to move away from all of my friends and family, people I love and adore, in honor of beaches and palm trees, and relocate to Hawaii, where I know absolutely no one, and hang out here all by myself. Does that make sense? Nope. I was divinely guided to make videos about Mark Foster, Bernie Sanders, and Donald Trump. Does that make sense? Does that make logical sense? Do those videos make me look good, bad? I don't know. I can't really care because that's my ego worrying about how I look. And the divine isn't in the habit of explaining himself either. So I either do what he asked me to do or I don't. And it's always been in my best interest to do what he asked me to do. Not out of fear, but, I don't know, helping humanity. Trust. Leaps of faith, blind faith, trust. Knowing that I'm part of a bigger plan designed to help the masses. So, yeah. In the battle of head versus heart, always use your gut. It's more trustworthy. Another thing is, I've seen situations where, a girlfriend will try to get back together with her boyfriend, or the boyfriend will try to get back together with the girlfriend, saying that they've changed. And I can see that they really have changed. They really did learn their lesson, and they're really not going to repeat patterns from their past. And they really, by losing the person, they really did, experience so much pain where it's like, okay, I'm never going to do this again. And the person won't take them back because it's just not practical or logical. Maybe they have friends in their ear saying, no, man, don't take it back. Nah, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. No, wait, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah. And that's where it's really frustrating for me because I'm like, oh man, if the boyfriend or girlfriend developed their intuition, they would know they could trust this person because they could do a read on the situation and whether or not they should get back together with this ex. Can I trust this ex again? Forget head, Forget heart. What is my gut telling me? Can I trust this ex again? And I've seen situations where the answer is yes, but the person went away. Walked away from their soulmate out of fear, just fear of being hurt again. What's practical, what's logical, what's the safest path to take? Because it would have required another leap of faith, and that requires courage, bravery. I don't know, looking like a fool to your friends, like, oh man, what are you getting back with your ex for? Oh, taking a step backward. Oh, geez, what are you doing? Right? Trust your gut. Because sometimes you really can trust your ex. They really did learn their lesson. They really did change. So that's hard to watch for me. And boy, do I just want to pound that whole develop your intuition into your head. Because I'm not even asking the person to listen to me. I'm asking them to listen to their gut. It's like, okay, don't take my word for it. Listen to your own gut, because the answer is inside of you. Hard to watch, man. But in retrospect, I'm thankful for the leaps of faith I've taken. I really am. I think these leaps of faith and the changes that I've made in my life have pulled me to a higher level of existence. I think I'm closer to God. I think I'm closer to the truth. I've always loved Hawaii, but it's weird. I mean, I feel at home here. It's very odd. It's a very odd sense of complacency I have with being here. Just kind of settled in and just melted into the island. That's the way it feels. As I got here and I'm like, I don't know about this, and then I just melted into the island. Very strange dynamic, and one that I would have never experienced unless the divine actually put me here. I don't know. The other side has, a total attitude of, try it, you'll like it. People being afraid to change or do something new or different. It's like, try it, you'll like it. That's their attitude. Sometimes the decisions that they guide me towards won't make sense until years later. That's okay, because things, become more clear to you in divine timing. Sometimes it can take a long time, even years, but I don't know. I feel sorry for the, logical, practical people who don't believe in psychic abilities. I really do. When I sit there and think about them walking around making blind decisions or just making all of the decisions with their mind, I feel sorry for them. I'm like, oh man, that's messed up. That sucks. Because I would never want to go through life like that. I've made decisions with my mind where it's like, yeah, this makes sense, and my gut's bothering me, and I signed on the dotted line anyway. And the person ended up screwing me over. I lived that life for many years, and I am never going back to it. Never going back to that. Without the help of, your higher self, God, the angels, it's a lower level of existence. They're all-knowing angelic beings, and you're connected to them, and it's just a lower level of existence. I mean, you're sitting there making these logical decisions, and it's not always the best path to take, and then you get burned. You get burned. Not trustworthy. Following your mind, not trustworthy. Just following your heart, not trustworthy either. Gut. Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, when I look back on my life, if I just used logic, I would have failed. I would have failed myself. Like I said, it's a lower level of existence. I mean, look at my life. I mean, would logic have guided me to do any of this? No, of course not. Doesn't make sense. A lot of the stuff I've done doesn't make sense. Reputation-wise, money-wise, logistics. I mean, just the practicality of where to live. It's harder to visit my family and friends now. I mean, trust. And, if I didn't take any of these leaps of faith, I would still be a marketing executive living in my old condo, just stressing out from my job, drinking wine every day, not knowing anything about how the universe works, intuition, my gut, etc., still making blind decisions. No. I don't want that life. I mean, this life is more challenging. It's harder, but you get more soul's growth, a closer divine connection, more in line with truth. It's a higher level of existence. But But the universe doesn't care about logic, and leaps of faith are not always logical. That's why they're represented by the Fool card in the tarot deck. Look at me, I can fly. Leaps of faith are viewed as foolish. Be safe. Be that koala clinging to that tree. What are you doing, dummy? No. Don't do it. So the logical approach feels more secure, and it's smarter, and you'll get social pressure to pursue the logical approach because, you know, everyone around you will be like, yeah, that's smart, gotta do that. But it's not the safer path. The logical approach is often not the safer path. The safer path is following your intuition and your gut. So, gut, intuition, develop yours, because you can't always rely on your mind. Oh, my gut just got warm like a Care Bear when I said you can't always rely on your mind. You know what that is? That's the other side confirming, yes, they're like giving me a high five. When they make my gut get warm like a Care Bear when I say something, it's like, high five, yes, score, repeat that. Can't always rely on your mind to make decisions. I know you want to because it's easy. But what if you're making a decision without having everything presented to you? Then how do you know? What if it's like a blind corner where it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but based on what I know right here, right now, I'm going to decide this. And your angels are like, hey, we do know what the future holds because we're all knowing. And we're telling you what's around that corner. Don't go that way. Go the other way. We're going to send you gut sensations. You're welcome. Have a nice day. That's how it works, man. Anyway. So, I think I've covered the topic adequately. If anything, I've berated it. But I definitely think I got my point across. Your gut. It's all about your gut. Trust it. Love it. Listen to it. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.